So are you ready to finally ask for that raise?
Hey, I know it can be a little intimidating, but I think we can help.
We can definitely try. You sent over this really helpful guide from ReZoom called How Do I Ask for a Raise Professionally? Step-by-step guide.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
So, like I said, it is a really good starting point, but we are going to really dig in here. We're going to give you those kind of insider tips and strategies.
That turn a good request.
Turn a good request.
Into a yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You got this moment.
Into a you got this moment. And I think one of the things that I found so fascinating about this guide is how much it really emphasizes the preparation.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people just focus on the how to ask.
Right.
But it's really all about what you bring to the table, even before you schedule that meeting.
Totally. What is so crucial, you are not just showing up and saying, hey, I want more money, right?
Right.
You are presenting an argument. You're building a case as to why you deserve this.
Exactly. You're proving your worth. It's not just about wanting more. It's like, hey, this is why I'm valuable. And this is why I deserve this raise.
And look, one of the most powerful tools you have is quantifying those results. I know the guide gives that classic example of turning helped improve sales into increased sales revenue by 20%.
Yes.
But let's break that down. Let's make it real for the listener. Let's imagine you're in marketing, right? You spearheaded this new social media campaign. Don't just say it was successful, because that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Dig into the data. Did engagement increase? Did you get more traffic to your website?
Well, did you get more leads?
Did those leads convert into actual sales?
Yes.
I mean, that's the stuff that they're looking for.
Those are the numbers.
Yes.
It's about painting a picture of your impact. Like you're saying, hey, this campaign that I launched, it brought in X number of new customers, generating Y amount of revenue for the company. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's so much more compelling than just being like, yeah, I do marketing, and it's good.
It's good. Yeah. No, it's like, here are the numbers, look at this. And this ties into another point that they make in the guide, right?
Okay.
That market research is key. Using tools like Glassdoor, PayScale, LinkedIn Salary, these are all great. Yeah. But remember, salary bands exist for a reason, and companies often have flexibility within those ranges.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So how do you know where you fit within that band? Is it just years of experience?
Years of experience, it's a factor,
Yeah.
but it's not the only one. Think about your unique skills and accomplishments. Have you consistently exceeded expectations? Have you gone above and beyond what they even asked you to do in your job description? Have you contributed to projects that really made a difference for the company, like impacted their bottom line?
Yeah.
I mean, these are all things that you can use. These are bargaining chips to position yourself towards the higher end of that salary range.
Okay. So we've got our accomplishments. We've quantified them.
Right.
We've done our market research.
Yeah.
What's next?
Timing.
Oh, timing is everything.
The guide's right. Avoid asking for a raise during, a financial meltdown.
Yeah, like right after they've announced layoffs. Maybe not the best time.
Probably not. You can be even more strategic, though.
Okay.
Look at your company's annual report, if it's publicly traded. Are profits up? Have they announced new investments or expansions?
These are all good signs.
These are all really good signs they have more flexibility.
So aligning your request with some of those positive signals can increase your chances.
Massively. But let's even take it a step further. Think about internal factors, too. Has your department been killing it, like crushing all its goals? Are there upcoming projects where your skills are really essential, right? If so, you're in a much stronger position to negotiate.
Yeah, because your contributions are obviously very vital to the company's current and future plans.
Exactly.
Okay, it's all about leverage, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's more to it than just waiting for, the annual review. But speaking of reviews, the guide does recommend, using those as a springboard for a raise conversation.
I mean, it makes sense. Performance reviews are already a time to kind of reflect and discuss career trajectory with your manager.
Absolutely.
But don't let that be your only opportunity.
Right. Like the guide mentions, capitalizing on those big wins, too. So let's say you just, secured a major client or you helped launch a new product line, boom, success.
Yeah.
Those are a great time to showcase your value.
Strike while the iron's hot, as they say.
That's right. It's fresh in everyone's minds. You've got that positive momentum.
Yeah.
So you've got the data, the timing is right.
Yep.
How do you actually, make that argument? How do you craft it?
Well, the guide really emphasizes a results-driven approach, and that is key. It's not just about how hard you work.
All right.
It's about the results you've delivered. Imagine you're presenting to a client. You wouldn't just say, "Trust me, I'm good at what I do." You'd showcase your portfolio.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Your past work, your success stories, right?
It's like your pitch.
Yes. Treat your raise request like a pitch where you are the product.
Ooh, I love that.
Wait.
I love that analogy. Okay, so what would that pitch sound like? Like, give me an example.
So let's say you work in customer service, right?
Okay.
Instead of just saying, "I consistently resolve customer issues," you could say something like, "I've successfully resolved over 95% of customer complaints within 24 hours, which has led to a 10% increase in customer satisfaction scores."
See, that's way better. I never would have thought to frame it like that.
That's what they want to hear.
That's really powerful, and it's backed up
Exactly.
by numbers.
By data. And look, this is just one example. The key is to tailor it to your specific role and accomplishments, but the principle remains the same. Showcase the value you bring in a way that is just clear, concise, and compelling.
Okay. So we've got our pitch polished.
Yep.
We've got our numbers. We're ready to roll.
Yeah.
But what about the actual meeting itself? Like, how do you set that up?
Well, you need a dedicated meeting, first of all.
Okay.
Not a casual conversation.
Yeah, not just like swinging by their desk or something.
Exactly. The guide is right on the money there. You need to schedule something that shows you're serious. It shows respect for their time.
Then they even give a sample email.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to schedule a meeting to discuss my contributions and explore opportunities for a salary adjustment. Boom. Professional, to the point, done.
Straight to the point.
I like it.
And then when you're in that meeting, the guide suggests starting positive, which I think is a good tactic.
Okay.
Express your gratitude for the opportunity to work there, for your team, all of that.
Yeah, set a good tone.
Set the tone, but then you get right to it.
Right to it. No beating around the bush?
No beating around the bush. Be direct. But remember, being direct doesn't have to mean being demanding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, you can be assertive while still being respectful. You're not trying to strong-arm them into giving you a raise. You're having a conversation.
It's a collaboration, really.
It's a collaboration, yeah.
It's a conversation.
Exactly.
You're working together.
It's about your value and your future.
At the company.
At the company, exactly.
And finding that balance between, like, advocating for yourself, but still maintaining a good relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And this is where all of that preparation we talked about comes into play.
Yeah.
You're not just making a request. You're presenting your case.
That's right.
You've done the work.
Yeah.
You're ready. You know what you're worth. And that confidence is going to show.
Yeah, you are confident in your value, and that's going to come through.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered the prep, the timing, the pitch, the meeting itself.
Yeah.
But then there's that question, like, in the back of everyone's mind. What if they say no?
Ooh.
Like, rejection is scary, right?
Yeah.
Especially, you put all this work into it.
Yeah, you do. You put a lot of work into it. It's totally natural to feel disappointed if they say no.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little deflated, but the guide offers some really good advice.
Okay.
Don't think of it as a dead end. Think of it as a way to gather feedback.
Okay.
What do you need to do to get there in the future?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So the conversation isn't over.
It's not over.
It's just beginning.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, it might be just beginning.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I definitely want to dig into that a little bit more after a quick break. So we were talking about that no and how it's not necessarily a sign of defeat.
Yeah, not at all. It can actually be really valuable.
Yeah.
The guide recommends using this moment to actually ask for specific feedback.
Oh, interesting.
Like, what are the areas where they see room for improvement? What skills or experience would make you a stronger candidate for a raise in the future?
So it shows that you're not just focused on the money, but you really want to, grow and develop within the company.
Yeah.
You're taking that no and turning it into like an action plan.
Exactly. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if they just say, I need more experience?
Right. Yeah. That's tough.
That's where things get really interesting because experience is valuable, but it's not the only currency in the workplace.
So how do you argue for a raise if you're just told you need more time?
By shifting the focus from time to impact. Have you taken on new responsibilities? Have you consistently exceeded expectations in your current role? Have you spearheaded projects that have driven significant results for the company?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so even if you are relatively new to a role, you can still build that case if you can really show that you're already, a valuable contributor.
Exactly. Now, let's say you've had that conversation, you've got a plan for improvement, but a salary increase just isn't feasible right now.
Yeah.
That's where the guide's advice on those alternative negotiations comes in.
Oh, yes. This is where things get strategic.
This is the fun part.
Yes. So they mentioned negotiating for things like, additional vacation days, flexible working hours, or even professional development opportunities. But like, how do you know which levers to pull?
That's a great question. It really comes down to understanding your own priorities and the company's culture. So if work-life balance is a big thing for you, those extra vacation days, the option to work remotely a couple of days a week,
Oh, yeah.
that could be huge. If you're really eager to kind of like, expand your skill set, a professional development budget, to take some courses or go to some conferences,
Yes.
that could be super valuable.
So it's about tailoring your negotiation to what matters most to you, but also what makes sense for the company, their values, their policies.
Exactly. And remember, even if you don't get that exact raise you were hoping for right now, negotiating for these alternatives shows that you're, solution-oriented, you're proactive, and you're thinking about more than just your paycheck.
Right. Yeah. It shows that you're invested in, creating a work environment that really supports you.
Exactly.
It keeps the conversation going. You're not walking away empty-handed. You're walking away with something that improves your work life.
Exactly. And it might even set you up for even more success in the future.
Right. Now, here's something I've been thinking about, and I don't think the guide really touched on this. What about just, like, the mental aspect of all of this?
Oh, yeah.
Asking for a raise can be so scary.
It can.
Especially if you're someone who, really doesn't like confrontation, or maybe you're worried about, I don't know, jeopardizing your relationship with your manager.
Absolutely.
So much of it is about the logistics, but you're right, it's also an emotional thing.
Huge emotional component, yeah. So before you even go into that meeting, just take some time to kind of mentally prepare yourself. Remember all the amazing things you've accomplished. Acknowledge your skills, your talent, all the positive things you've brought to the company. You deserve to be compensated fairly for all of that.
Yeah. Shift your mindset. It's not, I'm asking for a favor. It's, we're having a conversation about my value.
Exactly.
I love that. And, that confidence will come through. It'll show.
Yeah, you're not being greedy. You're not being demanding.
Right.
You're simply advocating for yourself.
You're advocating for yourself and what you're worth.
Exactly.
But even with all the best preparation, all the confidence in the world, they still might say no.
They might.
And that's okay.
That's okay. It's just feedback. Just a data point.
In your career journey.
Exactly. Think of it like any skill, the more you practice, the better you get.
It does get easier. The more you advocate for yourself, the more comfortable you become with these types of conversations.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe that no, today is just a stepping stone to something even better tomorrow.
Speaking of bigger and better opportunities, this whole conversation has me thinking about all the other resources you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
The resume examples, the blog articles, the stuff about cover letters, the job interviews.
That's a gold mine.
It's a gold mine of information.
It is. And it just highlights how, you are clearly someone who's proactive, you're curious, you're committed to exploring different paths and opportunities. And that, my friend, that is powerful.
It's all about being prepared, being informed, and being confident, really.
Exactly.
As you navigate, this crazy world of work.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
There's a ton of resources and advice out there.
This has been so insightful. I feel like we've covered so much. We've talked about the argument. We've talked about how to handle rejection.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I think we've kind of danced around, but we haven't directly addressed. How does this how does it fit into your overall career goals? Is it just about the money, or is it like a stepping stone to something bigger?
That's a great question. And it's the perfect way to kind of wrap things up.
Right.
How can this raise be more than just a financial boost, but like a catalyst for your long-term aspirations?
Ooh, I like that. All right, well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll dive into that. We'll come back and really explore how this raise can, impact your career trajectory. All right, so we're back, and I'm really curious to unpack this idea you mentioned. How does this raise actually fit into your overall career goals?
Yeah, it's easy to get tunnel vision on that immediate boost to your GEC account.
Right, like cha-ching, more money.
Exactly, but it's so important to zoom out and think bigger picture,
Okay, yeah. So it's not just about the number on the paycheck, but what that number represents for your career.
Exactly. So think about it this way. Is this raise just about, padding your bank account, or is it a strategic move? Like, is it going to help propel you towards something more?
Okay, I like that. So, like, what would be an example of that?
Okay, let's say, like, your ultimate goal is to move into a management role, right? Does it position you to be a more competitive candidate for those kinds of positions?
I see.
Or maybe it gives you the financial freedom to, pursue additional education, certifications, anything that makes you a stronger leader.
It's like each step you take, each raise, it should be like, leading you towards where you ultimately want to be.
Exactly. Now, for some folks, that aspiration might be, financial independence. Maybe you're saving up for a house or you want to start investing.
Yeah,
And that financial boost from a raise can be huge for that.
for sure.
So it's really about figuring out what motivates you, what are you working towards, and then how does this raise fit into all of that?
Okay.
And here's something really interesting. Sometimes a raise isn't just about the money, it's also about recognition.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's about feeling valued. It's about feeling appreciated for the work that you do.
Right, like my work matters, my contributions matter, and I'm being rewarded for those efforts.
Yeah. And that feeling, it can be so motivating. Like it can really fuel your passion and just inspire you to keep going.
So even if the raise isn't, a huge amount, the fact that your company is willing to invest in you, that speaks volumes.
Exactly. It can have a big impact on, your morale, your overall job satisfaction. This guide we've been talking about, it's fantastic, right? It gives us all the tactical stuff, the step by step. But as we've been saying, it's so much more than that.
Right.
It's about, being strategic, crafting that argument, showing your value.
But also knowing your worth.
Yeah, and having the confidence to actually, go for it.
Ask for what you deserve.
Yeah. And the wisdom to know how to align that with your bigger career goals.
Yeah, this raise, it's just one chapter in your career story.
Exactly. And you get to write the rest.
So go out there, armed with all this knowledge, all of this confidence, and make it happen.
We're rooting for you.
And that's it for another deep dive. I hope you found this one helpful. I know I did.
Me too.
We'll catch you next time with even more insights to help you navigate this crazy, exciting world of work.